Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Rodeo Time, the podcast. This is a very special episode where not only Dale Brisby, but Mr. Ty Rogers, we're going to solve your problems. We're going to go through what's been happening in the PRCA. We've got our new segment that's been pretty consistent and maybe the most popular, which is What's Rockin' with Rocker Steiner. I took it upon myself to be just kind of a weekly newsletter of what's going on in Rocker's life. So might even try to call him. But I'd like to welcome Ty Rogers. He and I have been doing the solos together, which is kind of an oxymoron, but we're like fat thighs. We stick together. Ain't that right?
That's right.
That's enough out of you. All right, back to Dale Brisby. And I just want to start this off with life advice. We normally wrap with life advice, but I'm going to give mine at the beginning. And it is never be ashamed of who you are unless you don't ride bulls. Okay? Then hide your face. Here we go. What's been happening in Winnebago? Brought to you by Ranch Fuel. Sorry. I just trimmed my fingernails. I couldn't grab a hold of it.
We can cut that out.
Can you edit that out? Brought to you by Ranch Fuel. Ranchfuel.com. Use code Dale for 15% off. I'm going to sip on that. I'm going to try to milk it so I don't have to go to the restroom. I don't know. Those energy drinks make me have to go to the bathroom. Oh, really? When you drink fluid, it makes you need to pee. Yeah, that sounds like anything. Try to stay hydrated. You know what you do? You pee a lot. People don't stay hydrated anymore.
What's the tint of yours looking like lately? That's usually the telltale, right?
Mine's pretty clear. I stay hydrated.
Good boy.
I keep that big Mountain Ops jug full of water. Plug. You know what I mean?
Does the caffeine not make it? You kind of stay on the caffeine.
I usually do caffeine in the morning, caffeine in the afternoon.
Is that it?
Yeah.
I heard you say something the other day, like you're not doing it after 1.
I try not to drink caffeine after 1.
That's when I start loading up after lunch.
Yeah, but you're not a morning person.
Correct.
My alarm goes off at 4:30. So
that's like when I reach REM sleep.
If I don't fall asleep till 10, your boy's about to be working on 6 hours. But I stopped taking the slumber from Mountain Ops. And which, to be honest, when I stopped taking it, it made me even more of a fan of it. Because it was so easy to stop taking.
Oh, really?
I took it every day for 2 years.
Yeah, you were real skittish about quitting too. You were more worried about the anticipated consequences, I think.
I thought I was just going to lie awake for 5 days.
Yeah.
And I went to sleep the next night.
That's pretty crazy.
Isn't that wild?
Melatonin messed me up for a while. I can't.
Well, there's not, they say there's not that much in it.
Yeah.
And so that's why I was like, well, let me try going without it. And then I did. You know what's been happening a lot? What's been wild on the beaches? When we're awake. We bucked 3 times this week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Tuesday, we were going out there. This segment, what's happening in Winnebago. Aside from Dale's sleep schedule, we've been bucking stock around the clock. Literally, every day we've been bucking. Tuesday was the buck out where we thought it was going to be a normal evening. And boy, were we wrong. It was a very exciting 2 hours. First, it started with I roped a bull on a bull. I roped a big bull from the back of my riding bull trunk.
He's kind of a jerk too. Like,
Trunk is a sweetheart.
No, I'm talking about the one I
roped.
Nylon on.
You got to be specific because it's 2 bulls in the mix.
Hot dog.
Hot dog.
Hot dog is kind of a jerk.
Hot dog, not hut dog.
Never hut dog.
Never hut dog. It's hot dog. He's kind of a jerk. He has hooked me multiple times. That's what this is from. Hut dog. But he's a muley, so he's easy to fight.
Right.
Everybody loves a muley. So that's how it started. The bull hooked me. I got on my other bull. I roped him. I drug him out. Watched the video for that. Donnie's editing it as we speak. No, Jordan is. Then Marty Gro, the new horse, the kid horse, dragging out a bull, dragging out a horse. Not dragging. He was just leading out Baptist. Baptist goes to kick him, and I guess maybe with super rough hooves, because he's a bucking horse, went through the legs and caught, even though the horse was on the right side of Marty Gro being led out by Kevin Wayne, he caught the inside of the back left leg of Marty Gro and cut that vein, that main artery. And it wasn't like spewing blood, but there was a steady stream. We tried to stop it. 15 minutes later, it's still just like kind of spewing out. Anyway, had to rush him to the vet. They had to suture him on a Tuesday night. It was a wild evening. Then,
do you think that like just blood on a white horse looks worse?
I do.
That's what I was thinking.
I do. Yeah, it looked way more intense than it was.
On a white horse, it looks awful when there's.
Yeah, like doctors say, when you're pooping blood, it just looks like more than normal because you drop a drop of blood in the toilet. And you haven't noticed? Okay,
I've never no.
Well, you pass out in a Buffalo Wild Wings once or twice due to blood loss in a toilet.
Should be enough.
The nurse tried to tell me, he was like, "Well, a little bit of blood goes a long way in a toilet. It looks like," and I was like, "Bro, my ass passed out because of blood loss, not dehydration." All right, he was frustrating me. Spent the night in the hospital in Sykeston. Regardless, a little bit of blood looks like a lot depending on where it's at. When it's on a white t-shirt or a white horse, it's a lot of blood. Then Jackson gets trucked over by number 29, the Heifers. They've gotten big.
They have. I've said that the last 2 times we've turned them out. I was like, man, they're not going to be just cute to get hit by anymore. Like they're kind of getting.
They mean it.
Yeah.
And then Cole Futrell got kicked in the arm and by a bucking horse. Then the video continues. The cops get called the next morning. You're just going to have to watch and find out why.
I don't even think you mentioned.
Yeah, you didn't know about that, did you?
You didn't mention James at all.
Oh, James. What happened to him?
You picked him up.
Oh, he went to the hospital. What did he go to the hospital for? What happened? Oh, he broke his back.
There it is.
That's right. It's just one of the little wings off the vertebrae.
Yeah.
He was milking it.
It's just a, yeah.
I've got that written down. James. Oh, dang. Whew, I'm glad you said that. Almost forgot. Regardless, okay, because of James, we've now got a vet visit, an ER visit, and the cops come to visit. That's a heavy hitting Rodeo Time episode. If you guys aren't subscribed to my YouTube channel, maybe that's what you're listening to this podcast on. Text the word YouTube to my phone number. Also text the word podcast. Put podcast YouTube, put it in a text, and then here's the phone number, 940-353-0890. And then whenever these videos come out, I'll hit you with the text. I'm going to go to the next segment called On the Trail, on the Rodeo Trail. And we're talking about the PRCA. These are some updates of standings. Now, just know that this has been recorded about a week in advance of publishing. So these are going to kind of be outdated. But this is what they are as of August 8th. We've got the Bearback Riding. Oh, yeah. Also, this segment is brought to you by Total Feeds. I'd like to thank our friends there for feeding Boone for so long. RIP, baby. I'm just saying that's where I learned that it was good. Don't laugh that Boone died.
It's not funny. You're right.
My Boone, my boy got cancer and died, and you're laughing.
Our other horses eat Total Feeds too. Feel free to.
You want me to stop talking about him? You think I talk about him too much?
I'm sorry I said anything.
Yeah, you should be. In the Bearback Riding, we've got, with a whopping $218,000, Rocker Steiner with the lead. Bradley Bronk Miller has kind of fallen behind. He had to take some time off, I think because of a hamstring. I don't know. Something on his legs probably. Bearback Riding's rough. He was winning the world earlier in the year. Had to miss a lot of the fourth run. Bradley Bronk Miller is sitting second with 163,000. That's over, what is that, 55,000?
Big gap.
That's a big old gap. And then a third bareback rider that's interesting to talk about in the standings at number 16 is Wasey Shala, 87,000, but he's only 16th by like $1,000. So that's interesting for a reason we'll talk about in a minute when we get to the all-round race. Saddle bronc riding, Mr. Ryder Wright, $236,000. He's sitting first. Dawson Hay is behind him by $32,000 at $204,000. Damian Brennan in number 3 with $185,000. So it's a pretty big spread from 1 to 3. Another notable standing is number 14, and that's Stetson Wright with $114,000. So he's in the top 15. It's only August. We've got 7 more weeks of pro rodeo. It's plenty of rodeo, but it's something to watch. In the bull riding, number 1, Stetson Wright, $299,000 won. And this is, I looked these up online this morning as of August 8th. Second is Wasey Shala, $5,000 less at $294,000. Tristan is at 203. Hayes Waite, 161. Kai Hamilton in 5th with 159. So the spread between 1st and 5th in the bull riding is $140,000. That's a big lead.
That's nuts. It's a lot of money.
That's crazy money. So the all-round race between Stetson and Wasey, Stetson's at 336. Wasey is at 268. And so those numbers don't really add up, because if you look at bull riding and Stetson's saddle bronc, he's got 299 in the bull riding. He's got 114 in the saddle bronc. That adds up to 413. No, yeah, 413. So why is his all around only 336? Because you can only official so many rodeos. They kind of limit on how much can count. Isn't that crazy?
I didn't know they did that.
Yeah. So you have to, when you call in, like if you go to a little rodeo, you can only official, and I can't remember, it's different for each event, which is also crazy.
Even in the rough stock?
Yeah. It's different between like broncs and bulls even.
It seems dumb.
Doesn't it? They only let you, so the money can count toward your qualifications, but it can't all count to your standings, your world standings. So that's why that all-around race looks different, because it looks like he's won according to the all-around. Man, but that means it counted on these standings here. I don't know why that all-around is different than adding up the...
Do you have to pick them like...
Maybe there's like extreme bulls. I bet there's extreme bulls.
It was the
I bet they
extreme
don't
bulls that
count the
don't count.
extreme bull stuff.
That's what I was
That's
thinking.
probably what it is. What I was saying is true. Like you can't just count every single rodeo. But I bet the all-around standings is different because of the extreme bulls. Because that would be unfair. That's probably it. That would be
That's what I
unfair to
thought.
the like the calf ropers, because they don't have like an extreme calf ropers. Also, calf ropers aren't that extreme. You know what I mean?
They couldn't if they wanted to.
Right. I don't make fun of timies, because I got some friends that are timies. But hey, that's not extreme. It's very cowboy. It's extremely cowboy.
There you go.
But compared to bull riding. Oh, speaking of timed events, dang, what are they? Let's at least talk about who's number 1 in each of those. All right, who's number 1 in the steer wrestling? Tucker Allen with 133,000. Will Loomis is number 2. What about team roping headers? Tanner Tomlinson still in number 1. Derek Begay is number 2, just by $2,000. Healing, I believe, number 1 is Coulter Todd, who's roping with Derek Begay. Tie down roping, speaking of, wow, Riley Webb has a lot of money won, $217,000. Shad is number 2 right now by $6,000. He's at $211. And then a big jump down, John Doach at $134. So those guys are cowboys. I know I was making jokes earlier, but I'm here for it. Barrel racers, Cassie Mowry right now at $190,000 won. And then let's go to the steer roping. Nobody ever talks about the steer ropers. They're in their little secret buildings way off. Cole Patterson, $81,000. That's crazy that number 1 has that much won. Because you don't, I didn't realize they had that many to go to. Good for them. And then the breakaway, Taylor Munzel has 154,001 in the breakaway. That's a lot of money. I didn't realize they had that much to win. Number 15 has 65,000. I thought that was like the thing. They were mad that, I thought as a whole, breakaway ropers weren't winning as much money. That's more than the number one in the steer wrestling, isn't it?
Yeah, what did you say? It was like 80 or
130.
130, yeah.
Number one in the breakaway has more than number one in the steer wrestling. But that must not be a good stereotypical rodeo joke that breakaway ropers are frustrated they don't have as much money added. Maybe it's just at the finals. Anyway, good for you guys, breakaway ropers. Girls, good for you girls. Ladies. Let's
hear it for the ladies.
Let's hear it for the ladies that are roping necks. Roping necks and cashing checks. That's what I've always said. I love timed events. I've always said that, right, Ty?
Yeah.
What's our next segment? The Dale Brisby therapy session brought to you by Rock and Roll Denim. We've got some questions from the audience, and I'm going to answer them. So, brought to you by Rock and Roll Denim. Use code DALE for 15% off. Guys, if you're rodeoing, if you're ranching, you got to get Rock and Roll Denims. I find myself in the vintage. It's not like I get lost. Where am I? I'm in the vintage Rock and Roll Denim jeans. I know where I am. You guys will find me in vintage, and then use code DALE. It's the old school look, but it's got the reflex. All right, I'm going to go to these questions here. I have not read these, so if there's some pauses, Ty, just take those long pauses out. But I'm sure there's a lot of people out here that are just even okay with listening to me breathe. So
I know I am.
Maybe we should start like a Patreon account where it's like
ASMR?
Yeah, where it's like, here's Dale eating. This is Dale walking. This is the sound of Dale breathing and grunting while he works out.
There you go.
Did you think I was going to say pooping? You thought I was going to say pooping.
There's a couple of things I thought you could have said.
Okay.
What was that word that you learned that you didn't know what a mukbang was the other day? You can start doing those.
A what?
A mukbang? Isn't that?
Yeah, y'all said that yesterday. I don't know what mukbang is.
You just got to film yourself eating a bunch of food. And like people, I don't know what the audience is, but they get a lot of views.
Do they?
I don't know who's sitting in and watching that, but I'm just saying if you've just filmed yourself eating an enormous amount of like steak and whatever, there's a demographic.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know that. I mean, yeah, that'd be crazy. Oh, that's that guy that eats on camera.
Exactly.
That'd be crazy to be known for.
They have them out there.
Yeah. I've dated some girls like that. That's what they were known for.
Later, yeah.
After I dated them.
Right.
For sure. What do you do when your mule is smarter than you? This is from a fan named Margaret. Now, Margaret, this is not uncommon. Craig Cameron said once that, I don't know if it was mules, maybe it was donkeys. They're so much smarter than horses, it makes them look dumb. Isn't that kind of an interesting thought? Like,
yeah.
And the reason I believe it is because I had a miniature donkey named Webster, and he could like open doors and stuff. We went to my first trip to the NFR when we lived here in Winnebago. I got a call while I was at the NFR that he had gotten out, number one, smart thing, gone across the highway to Jack's house, like directly across the highway, and they came home to him in their kitchen.
No way.
Yes,
like,
way.
Was he eating anything? Like, I mean, was he just chilling in their house?
Some Pringles off the counter.
Attaboy.
No, that's not a joke.
Whatever happened? What happened to him? I remember seeing.
He just got old, passed away. My mom, when I was in high school, my mom bought him as a. It wasn't a silent auction; it was a live auction as a fundraiser for a school mule shoe. I think, funny enough, so I think it was. We drove through there. I don't know if it was there, but regardless, yeah, bought this mini donkey. We had to take him home like in a Tahoe type thing. It wasn't a Tahoe because those were more expensive, but like a suburban-ish type vehicular. And we had this mini donkey going home from this fundraiser that my mom bought him at. Auctions are fun, and it's hard not to bid sometimes, even on dumb things like a mini donkey. So yeah, named him Webster, took him home. He served no purpose and just bit other horses, got out, learned how to open doors. when I lived down at the ranch, we would the one down there close to College Station where I lived for a long time. We had a fence around. It was like the house was in a pasture, and there was about an acre or two fenced in around the house in a cattle guard. And so he stayed in that, and that's where he learned to open doors. He would just come in the house sometimes. You had to deadbolt it.
With the minis, like I know like donkeys are good about keeping coyotes and stuff away. Was he about that at all?
I don't know.
When I was in college, we had a donkey in there with, like in the sheep barn, and he got so, like he would go to coyotes, like he would like hunt them out, and he got so mean like doing that if you just walked out in the pasture, he'd kind of come to you and start fighting on you. We had to get rid of him, but
yeah, he wouldn't do that. But I don't know how he interacted with coyotes. I never got to see that up close, but he would go into your back door. Wow. Anyway, next rodeo problem question that Dale's going to help solve: figuring out how to set my saddle up and mess with my binds. That's from Cade_5. Cade, when in doubt, let it out. Loosen those bad boys up. Lengths and front binds, okay? And if you're sitting in a bronc saddle, you know what I'm talking about. But essentially, when you're starting out, you just don't want them too tight, all right? So we're getting off into the weeds, so I'm not going to camp on that, but that's what you need to know, Cade. It being 2025, yet people still believe a bull's nuts are tied. And what registration with the number 8 in there is referring to is the flank. All right, people, in bull riding, we do not tie that flank around a bull's balls. And that's what I'm here to yell from the rooftops. The reason for Dale Brisby's existence is to teach the world that this myth is just that. It's a myth. We use a flank also in bucking horses. Some of those bucking horses are mares. How are we going to tie their testicles in if they don't even have them? A lot of those bucking horses are geldings. Matter of fact, rarely do you really buck a stud at a rodeo. Maybe if you're at a rodeo, it's possible that there's one stud. There definitely won't be two. They're too hard to deal with. You got to pin them by themselves. You got to haul them by themselves. So it is unlikely that a stock contractor has 2 or 3 studs at one rodeo. With that being the case, if tying the flank around nuts was the way to get an animal to buck, how do they buck? Let's say they buck 20 horses at a rodeo. How are they going to make the other 19 buck that have either been, because those 19 have either been castrated or they're females? And it is 2025, so I'll let you know that those females don't have testicles, all right? You can say what you want about the people and what they claim to be, but animals are animals, and there's only 2 genders there. Next question by Robbie Frass. I will never be able to win money if Dale Brisby enters. That's more of a statement and a true one, so you're welcome. I'm going to get a couple more of these, and then we're going to go to our next segment, which is Rodeo Time News at 9, and that's brought to you by Rodeo Time, the greatest apparel line ever to exist. But before that, we're going to go to a few more questions here. I live in South Africa, and there ain't no rodeo here. Dang, that is a problem.
Is that Bert?
That is Bozier Matthew. Yeah. But Bert from South Africa.
He's the one who wrote the song.
That was just such a good song.
It was a real good song.
We need to.
You might have just heard the song. I don't know if you saw the script, did you? He like wrote it all out. It requires you specifically.
No, we're not going to do all that. I think we just used some B-roll of JB and myself.
Okay.
One and only T-Say. His problem is not reaching to the opposite side when sliding off the bull. Yeah, so what I'm picturing, the way he framed this problem with rodeo, sometimes, let's say you're left-handed, you could be getting bucked off either direction. Let's say you're into your hand. That bull's turning back to the right, away from your hand. A tendency might be to reach down with your free arm, maybe grab the back of that bull. Like that's your intuition. With rodeo, most of the fundamentals that make you successful are counterintuitive. You need to drive to the front rather than reach down to the back. And then let's say you're getting bucked off away from your hand. You're left-handed. Your tendency might be to grab that hump. Again, that's going to get you bucked off. So what the one and only here is suggesting, bull riding is counterintuitive. Get your mind wrapped around the fundamentals. And then, hey, you know what else? Life is counterintuitive. I was talking to one of my jiu-jitsu coaches, because I have two, and he was saying that, jiu-jitsu is counterintuitive. What move was he talking about? I can't remember. I was too focused on what I was about to say, which I was telling him, like, man, so is rodeo. And
well, everything can't be counterintuitive, because then what is intuition at all?
Well, okay, I remember now what movie he was talking about. Like if I am on top of you and I'm about to start punching and everything, your intuition is to reach up like this. Right?
And like I know what he's going to say. He's going to say you should like pull him to you, right?
So, but your intuition is to do
get
this.
Away from it.
But with jiu-jitsu, that's not the fundamental. So with jiu-jitsu, if you're going to execute proper fundamentals, it's counterintuitive. Mm-hmm. Because if you put your hands up, they're just going to armbar you like right away. You know what I mean? And just break your arm. Your arm will never be the same for the rest of your life. If you got armbarred in the street, your arm would never be the same. So that's what he was saying. So I think a lot of things in life are counterintuitive. Like if you're going to take a chance with starting a company and a YouTube channel, your intuition would be like, don't start that YouTube channel. Everybody's going to think you're a joke. Don't start that company. It might fail.
Right.
Because there's risk involved.
Mm-hmm.
And so the risk is going to make your intuition say, run away from it. But to be successful, you got to be counterintuitive.
That's a good quote. That could be your life advice.
This person put under their rodeo problem, just 2 words: barrel racers. To which I would respond, you must not have met a goat tire.
Here we go.
Here we go. Trying to find a bronc saddle and being somewhat affordable. Man, you're going to have to just find a used one somewhere because, saddles are expensive across the board and leather work is hard to do. Leather is expensive. So if you're going to get a new one, just get ready. Once it's decked out, stirrups, fenders, everything, latigos, cinches, you're getting close to $3,000. You're going to spend $3,000 guaranteed on a good new saddle. Walmart has bronc saddles.
Yeah.
Is that not crazy?
Affordable ones too at that.
We should buy one just to test it.
We should.
I'm going to get a Walmart bronc saddle. We bought a bronc saddle on Walmart.com. Let's do it. Mm-hmm. I'm tired of just talking about it. I'm going to do it. That's kind of my mantra for 2025. Do it, then talk about it.
Wasn't that Donnie's?
That was my mantra actually for 2024 and 23 and 22. I say that every year. But yeah, if you're going to get into saddle bronc riding, just be prepared for that. All right, I'm going to go to 2 more. This one is actually from my former traveling partner, Mr. Ross Sherrod. 2 tours of duty in Iraq with the Marine Corps. Early too. Like he was there when they tore down the statue of Saddam in Baghdad. He was like, yeah, we were just kind of glanced over. We didn't realize it was going to be such a significant moment. Fallujah. He was one of the first ones into Fallujah. Yeah. Anyway, then he rode bareback horses. I think that's the kind of person that takes to ride bareback horses.
Was he the one that hung up and got his face ran down the panels at one time?
Yep.
And messed himself up pretty bad?
Pretty bad. So that was Ross. That's Ross Sherrod. His question is, love you, bro. For all the young and up and comers, how do you push through the first 100 rides? Well, if you're as tough as Ross Sherrod, you probably don't need a lot of advice. You're just not going to quit. But for those that aren't quite a Ross Sherrod, it's a process, and you got to be committed to the suck. It is a process, and it's so mental. Once you get to a certain physical ability, let's say you can do 8 pull-ups correctly, you can do 30 push-ups, you can handle your body weight. If you're a bull rider, you're not over 200 pounds. Like if you can check all the normal boxes of physical capabilities, then it really is mental. You learn those fundamentals and then it's mental, like how am I going to apply them? So with that being said, there's also like, you're just not going to, for instance, take jujitsu or horse training. You're not going to go out here and do one jujitsu session and just know jujitsu. You can have your mind wrapped around it. You can watch all the videos in the world. You're not going to just go know it. Take a 2-year-old. It can be a gentle horse. You're not going to take him out and in one session train him and be able to go pick up at a rodeo or drag calves in the branding pen. Like, it's a process to learn jiu-jitsu. It's a process to train a horse to be gentle enough for a child to ride. It's a process to become a bareback rider, a bronc rider, a bull rider that takes time, and you cannot skip the process. And so 100 rides is child's play for any of the three. I would say the easiest thing to get good at quickly would probably be bullfighting. If you've got the balls to get in there, like let's eliminate the amount of emotion you'll have to get over, and that emotion being fear, then that would probably be the one you could get the best at the quickest. But once you go to getting on top of an animal, it's so unorthodox to like just your everyday normal life. It's not like riding a bike. It's not like riding a dirt bike or it's nothing like football or baseball. The mechanics of a swing with a baseball bat are one thing, but learning how to go to the front on a bull that's got a lot of front end is just completely out of this world different. And you will not fully understand it your first 100 rides. Guaranteed. So you got to love it, and you got to be committed to it being a process. The other thing is like dealing with buck-offs. Chris Harris said in the locker room of Rio Rancho, New Mexico, me and Jake Brown were sitting in there, and he said, RIP Chris Harris, by the way, winning is crucial for confidence. It's a must-have. So you got to find a way to create wins. So if you're not able to go win money, then how can you create a win in the practice pen, in the locker? I mean, I was going to say the weight room, but so how can you create confidence in those first 100 rides? And I think it's what you do between rides, and also the stock you're getting on. Make sure you're not getting on buckers if you're not ready for them. Banging your head against the wall. Let's do one more. Okay, this is interesting. I think my traveling partner has a crush on me. What do I do? Wow. That's interesting. Do you like that traveling partner back? Because if you do, man, how convenient is that? Y'all are already going to rodeos together, right?
Yeah, I mean, I've never heard of anything. Is it a dude?
What are the events?
Yeah, what's going on there?
Are we even talking about rodeo? Whoa. My parents won't let me do rodeo. They say it's too dangerous. What should I do? It depends. If you're under 18, you got to do what they say. If you're over 18, you got to do what they say if they're paying your bills. If you're over 18, they're not paying your bills, then do what you want.
That's good advice.
But it is dangerous. So your parents are right. So you could die. There's that. Being a show jumper, that's not rodeo. So random people behind the chutes, I don't know. That's not really a problem. It sounds like a bunch of fans, you just got to be ready for that. Then this last one is I broke my back, spinal.
James?
Yep. It says Slice Man. Oh, that's that kid that works for us. Oh, yeah, I think he's making fun of James. Interesting. All right, that concludes our Dale Brisby therapy session. Thank you guys for listening. Next, we're going to go to the Rodeo Time News at 9 at 11:40. So this is a segment that we're going to talk about news lately, and we're going to go with the very first news story that is brought to you by Rodeo Time News at 9, the Rodeo Time apparel line. tractor action. French farmer who sprayed travelers with manure in his tractor was driven to breaking point as cops refused to step in. Whoa. Look at all these. Are those RVs?
They said it was a gypsy caravan. I don't know if you can say gypsy now, if that's but that article said it was gypsies.
Gypsy is a derogatory term?
I've heard that.
You've heard that from who? A gypsy?
The gypsy community, yeah.
What are they then?
I don't know. Tom Segura like made a joke about gypsies, and they said they didn't like that he used gypsy. I think it's like gypsies can call each other gypsies. It's like that other word.
No, don't even. That's baloney.
I'm not saying I'm not saying I think that, but I think some of them use that word that way.
Is this his land that they're on?
Yes, they were squatting. Like that was a pasture that he used. And
yeah, it looks like a hay field, a hay meadow.
And it says like the cops wouldn't do anything about it. So him and his boys.
Bro, this farming, the way that farmers get attacked in some of these other countries, like we think it's bad in the US, that is so ridiculous how the government will not have farmers' backs. Mm-hmm. They try to blame everything on cow farts and diesel exhaust. Like, what do you think is next? What do you think is next? If the government's in control of all of that, you think it's going to get better? Do we really think letting the government control our food sources is going to make life better?
I saw something like the cruise ships that are on, like there's only like a dozen or so like massive cruise ships, but they like 10x like all the beef in the entire world on carbon emissions. And like it's like some crazy number, like some amount higher, but no one talks about, you know, ending cruise liners. It's just always like, it's always attacking like beef producers and stuff, which never made sense to me.
Dude, that's such a good point. What are all these people following this tractor for? Oh my gosh, they jumped in the tractor with it.
They're trying, yeah.
Trying to. That person has no idea how close to death they are.
That's what I thought. And then they try to like run up next to him in a car, and you can see he whips that tractor over like he was about to just run over one of their cars. It was awesome.
Dude, I cannot believe people's ignorance.
Yeah.
How can you just like, what's wild, the hypocrisy behind they think it's okay to go on someone else's land, but then they're mad that he's spreading manure that's getting on their property.
Right.
Which is their car or their RV, it looks like. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's your property, right? Okay, well, you're on my property. Why is it okay for you to be on my property? But if I want to spread fertilizer here, it's not okay that it gets on your property.
Right.
Like, it's crazy they don't even understand their own hypocrisy.
And that wasn't a small group of people.
That looks like hundreds of RVs.
Yeah, like if it was like a dozen people, I'm sure he would have handled things differently. Like I don't think that poor French farmer, his first thing probably wasn't like, I'm going to go spray cow crap all over these people. You know, like
Dude.
It's just when numbers like that, and they outnumbered him, they weren't leaving. It's like, what else they got to do? Cops aren't doing anything. I thought that was a cool story.
It's an interesting story.
Right.
I'd love to hear the ending on it. 10 women have sued the T app after user photos were hacked and leaked online.
Do you know about that app?
No.
It's kind of been talked about the last few weeks. Like it was a dating app. They call it a dating app, but really a woman can post a picture of a dude she's dated. So she posts a picture of you. She can post your number. So your number's out there. And then she basically like gives you a review. And so it was essentially just an app where women were just dragging all their ex-boyfriends and kind of just airing some stuff out. And then there was a huge like data breach. So like the app was just created cheaply and everything. So now all the women that were just getting on there to talk bad about their boyfriends, their data got leaked and sold. And now that guy's being sold. And now the CEO is getting like sued into oblivion. Like it ended up being a mess, but it was like the most downloaded app for the last month or two. And
wow.
Just an app where women.
What an ironic twist of fate.
Joke. I thought that was funny.
There's a Facebook group.
There is. It's essentially like
The
those
one
Facebook groups.
like for rodeo or
Right.
something where they
Are
talk
we dating
about
the same cowboy as one
Yeah.
of them? But that app, that's essentially an app just like those Facebook pages. And
dude, that made me like, it seems just so scary. The idea of, I don't message people on my apps inappropriately. Thank God, but like how it's still though, like just the thought of like a personal conversation being just exploited. The thought of I think the main intention is probably they're just trying to like, I bet there's some people on there with bad intentions.
for sure.
Like they do just want to catch somebody. They want somebody to like be dating two of them at the same time. Some people on there, it would be sad though, like if a girl like did be like super interested in a dude and find out like he's actually talking to three of them.
I think, but like an app like that, women, I think there's some, not even just women, that just enjoy that attention, positive or negative. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like when you talk about like, they would post something of someone at their at that person's expense if it meant they got 250,000 views. They don't care. You know what I mean? Like stuff like that. But I think that's where it gets sick. Like that whole app, I think, is just gross. But then it's just funny that there's this huge data breach, and now all those people that kind of are, exploiting their past relationships are the ones that got hurt by getting their data leaked and stuff. It's just a funny.
If there's a dude that is just an obvious POS,
right,
and he gets called out for it, I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
correct. I would agree with that.
But the problem I think is that if someone is intentionally trying to set up a guy, and then you don't get to hear the other side of the story. Like maybe he's talking to a girl that's just a friend and she wants it to be more, but like they've not ever, done anything. There's nothing appropriate, but like she likes him. Like I could just see how like one chick might be like, yeah, me and him were talking. And he was like, no, I was being nice. And we went on one lunch date, nothing happened. And then this girl that I am interested in, I am talking to, I don't know. But there's just two sides of the story. And in those situations, you don't get to hear the second side of the story.
I think oftentimes too, like the girl that would see it that way is
that's the scenario that scares me. Like if somebody's a POS, whatever. Right. But anyway, continue.
But the irrational woman like that is probably going to be the one who downloads the T app to talk about that person. Like, how many rational thinking women are going to be like, yeah, I'm going to give this guy an honest review. Like, I bet if you scroll through the T app, because you could give a positive review of a guy, but how many of those do you think
get attention? Yeah. How often does the positive? That's not why somebody's downloading the app. Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, I feel like that's.
How do you feel about
Angie's List, baby, for dating? That's crazy. It seems like a good idea in theory, but I could see also why it would crash and burn.
Yeah. But the people that just will post, like, I feel that way about people that post their personal stuff on Facebook. You know what I mean? You ever just seen somebody that...
Like how personal? What do you mean?
Like if they've got beef with somebody, like their first thing is to just make a Facebook post.
Yeah, I do know some people like that.
I think that's insane.
I know, and I'm thinking of one, like, it was just like, yeah. Or like seeking out advice on a story or like on just like a status update. Like, okay, girls, mastitis, what do I do?
Yeah,
bro, that's a real, I've seen that as a real status. And I'm just like, dang, I don't want that in my news feed.
No joke.
Yeah, I'm going to probably unfollow. Whoa. Anyways, the T app. So it's come and gone. Before I even got to get on there, I probably got some girls that would give me
a Del Brisby
bad review.
Page on there.
Yeah, for sure.
You probably have one.
I was probably represented on there. Yeah, so that's that article. All right. Now to the lion. What's going on here? What happened with our lion?
Oh, it was like I think a zoo in Denmark was having trouble feeding their carnivore
Danish
species.
zoo
Yeah,
calls
or
for
Danish.
unwanted pets to be fed to its
I
animals.
just wanted to see how you felt about that.
That's hilarious. Was it a joke?
I don't think so, no.
Donated pets will be gently euthanized by trained staff and then used as fodder to take care of the well-being of predators. Hey, that's the circle of life.
That's what I'm saying.
Because all these ridiculous people turning out wolves in Colorado, like, what do you think's going to happen to the baby elk? What do you think's going to happen to yearlings? Oh my gosh, so ridiculous. So I think that's hilarious. I'm probably, I don't know if I'm going to take an unwanted pet. I'm not usually one to acquire unwanted pets.
So,
but the circle of life here, if anybody throws a rock at them, it'd be crazy. I'm curious as to hear what your opinion on is turning out those dang wolves in Colorado.
what about Boone had to be put down? Are you feeding him to a lion or is that disrespectful? Like if it's your beloved, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't think I'm feeding Boone to a lion.
See, I agree. There's a line
But if it's if I had a bucking horse
that died. Yeah,
that died,
that makes sense.
and I got a buddy that runs a zoo, so I'm trying to create a little backstory with the scenario here, with the scenario,
Right.
as Hall would pronounce it. So here's the scenario: bucking horse doesn't even have a name; it's got a number. Gets cancer. We got to euthanize it. Whatever. The zoo that my buddy runs has a lion that they need to feed. I'm okay with that.
Tiger King reaches out and asks you, hey, my tigers are hungry.
Yeah, I don't know about Tiger King.
He's just a guy that has tigers.
I got myself compared to them, and they did not like it during the Netflix show.
You got compared to the Tiger King?
I was on a what's that talk show? The guys, they sometimes something with a Z. What's that talk show that I went on? They were talking about me being Tiger King. It was right before the Netflix show came out. It's like an online show, and it's a black guy and a white guy, and they're both standing there. What's it called? I freaking went on it. TMZ.
Okay.
I went on TMZ. I mean, that's a legitimate one.
There is a Z in there. You said a talk show that started with a Z.
Yeah, I knew there was a Z. Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
And I knew you pronounced the Z.
Gotcha.
So I went on TMZ, and these guys were like, I didn't know what we were going to, I mean, obviously I knew we were going to talk about the Netflix show, but I didn't know how they were going to react to it. And they were excited about it. And but the Tiger King came up. It had recently been kind of a thing. He was already in prison, I think. And yeah, the Tiger King media crew just got a little bit upset about I don't know why.
What they say?
I don't remember.
How did you know they were disgruntled about it?
Because it was on their social media.
Really?
On his social media.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, Tiger King had beef with Dale Brisby. Not much you can do about it.
I was
jail
unaware
cell.
of all that.
I bet he enjoys jail. Huh. Just a sidebar. Anyhow, back to the the animals. Yeah, I don't think so. To answer your question, I ain't sending one of my bucking horses that needs to be euthanized to Tiger King.
Gotcha.
Yeah. But I don't mind if unwanted pets go to I'd be real curious, people, because I guarantee you somebody's throwing shade on it. How they feel about the wolves. With head stuck in a jar successfully. Wait, what? With head stuck in a jar successfully, northern Wisconsin.
Was that bear that had its head stuck in a...
Yeah, what happened?
Oh, I don't know. Listen, I grab headlines. We come in here, a lot of times we're reacting to it together. That was just a bear with its head stuck in a jar.
Okay.
So I don't know what happened.
Yeah, but he got it out.
I reckon. It looked like it.
Comedian Matt Rife says he's now the legal guardian of Annabelle, the haunted doll.
Did you see that?
No, I didn't. What does that mean?
Do you know what the Annabelle doll is?
No.
You've heard of Ed and Lorraine Warren, right?
No.
they were in the ghost community. They were the ones that would do like exorcisms and stuff. They were like the famous, what do you even call it? Demonologists, I think is what they did. They were a Christian couple, but they like would just travel doing, I don't know, paranormal type stuff.
Okay.
And when they do exorcisms, they would take, like sometimes they would say, I don't know if I believe all this. These demons would put themselves in objects. They would do their exorcism and they would take the object. So like in their house, they had a museum of all these paranormal type things, right? And you could visit it. It was public. But the Annabelle doll was the most famous, like, because the Annabelle case, I don't know the details of it, but there was like some murders tied with this doll. Allegedly, a demon was possessing this doll. It's the most famous object in that museum. Matt Rife, who I know you like, just bought their house. That doll is in that house, and now he's kind of
Because he gets real into that stuff.
See, I didn't even know that about him until
like
this. But
haunted houses and stuff.
But the Annabelle doll is, for the paranormal community, is like the most haunted object, and now it's in possession of Matt Rife.
Oh, so, that is interesting.
Yeah,
It's interesting on a Matt Rife level.
What is your stance on like,
paranormal stuff?
Yeah. Do you?
I mean, I think it's real. I think there is a war going on, in the spiritual realm. I think Jesus is the name above all names.
Correct.
And I think I think God, like, just allows a certain level. He tolerates. It's just tough because free will exists.
Mm-hmm.
You know, God is in control, but there's also free will. That's a whole nother conversation, and I'm kind of getting off on a sidebar of like the, Calvinists think, are a little more like on one side, and Arminianism, I think, is the other side. Mm-hmm. And a lot of people have kind of a view that's kind of in the middle. Regardless, like, God is in control.
Does it
spiritual warfare is a real thing?
Does it say anything in the Bible about like the demonic possession of like inanimate things, or is it only because
I have not heard that? Like
it does. There were like exorcism type.
Yeah, so like God
Jesus
sent demons into a herd of pigs, and they go off the edge of a deal and off a cliff and kill themselves.
Still like a living, like a
right? Correct. Yeah. So I don't know about like an inanimate object. My knee jerk would be no. It seems as though you said they had a TV show.
Ed and Lorraine, there's movies about them, like the Conjuring movies. I think like there's 2 movies about this Annabelle.
So they just did their deal, or were they like kind of like
they were around in like the 70s? So
but were they like celebrities of sorts with it? It makes me wonder.
They were famous in that like niche like ghost hunter community, but not because they were making themselves as such. I think they truly thought they were doing some good. I don't think they thought they weren't just doing it to be famous.
Okay.
They were like college professors.
I see.
As well. But
well, it is definitely possible for someone to be authentically
and still
passionate about something and still reach fandom, stardom, whatever.
Correct.
I.e., like, I think I'm a big fan of John Piper and John MacArthur, and they're both like very well known.
Mm-hmm.
Matt Chandler. Regardless, so that was the only reason I was asking those questions. I've not heard of these people, and I just don't know a lot about exorcisms.
Yeah, it's
like I feel like it's a real thing. I just don't know a lot about it. I'm very willing to say that. Texas Aquarium defends octopus after it left 6-year-old boy covered in bruises and claims mom leaned him over the barrier. Man, I don't know.
I just like that headline.
I'm going to go with the mom on this one. That's BS. Like, you're going to put hey, people ought to know. You don't lean over this right here. We're going to put this barrier. Did your 6-year-old not read this sign? Are you not watching him close? Dude, it's a 6-year-old. This is an aquarium. How are you allowing there to be a situation where a 6-year-old can interact with an octopus?
There you go.
I'm gonna side with the mother on this one. This is silly.
But
Now it sounds like just bruises. Like if she's just doing a little cash grab, I don't know about that. But yeah, the aquarium needs to do something. Change your damn deal up.
well, I mean, as the aquarium, you got to stick up for your octopi, right? You can't.
No,
Like what?
dude, screw those animals.
But an octopus is going to do what an octopus is going to do. I don't think you like. I just don't. I don't know.
Are you asking if I think it should be euthanized?
No.
I don't think it should be
agree.
euthanized. Yeah, it's an octopus.
Yeah, like I don't know how a 6-year-old got close
Bro,
enough
I went to
anyway,
the zoo
but-
in Fort Worth and I was just not okay with the railing. I already have an opinion
into
on this.
which exhibit?
I did not know you put this in here, but I think it's silly how accessible it is for kids or people to be able to jump in a deal with a gorilla. Like that's happened before.
Well, that kid, yeah,
Like
Harambe.
shoot that son of a gun. Forget it. I don't care what his name is. You shouldn't have named him. That's why people are
gorilla?
upset. He's got a name. Yeah. Don't look at me like that's a crazy thing.
To name a gorilla?
Correct. If you want to name them, that's fine. But don't be upset when they got to put that sunbuck down because he's about to kill a kid. All I'm saying
Right.
is you care a lot less about a cow that's number 247 than you do about a cow named Betty. That's facts.
But I think I can name something and still like I would have shot that gorilla.
A
before.
rational human,
Yeah.
for sure.
Like I mean,
But
it's just-
the general public, once you name something, it attaches like this extra layer of personality to it. Like if that octopus were named, which I'm sure it
probably
was,
is, yeah.
that's what I'm saying.
That's
Now
probably
this
why they-
aquarium is like, bro, Jeff isn't going to hurt anybody on purpose. I feed Jeff every day. No, it's an octopus. Build your rail better. Now, I'm not saying that octopus needs to be blamed, but that's on you. You want to open this up and charge people to come in and view the aquarium and view your animals. Make it where a 6-year-old can't lean over there and pat that sunbuck on the head.
There you go.
Same thing with the did the gorilla kill the kid?
no, they.
Yeah, thank God.
Do you not remember that whole? Fiasco?
No, I don't.
It was the kid fell in. This is like where people got.
That ain't the
upset.
parents' fault, man. Set your deal up different. Shoot the gorilla.
Right.
And not lose a minute of sleep about it. Dang, that sucks that happened. We should have built this different where a 4-year-old can't. How old was the kid?
It was a toddler. Like it wasn't a very old kid.
Bro. Let's get another gorilla in here. You know what I mean? If you're going to play that game,
No,
if you're going
I
to put them
hear
in
you.
cages where people can, that's kind of how you feel about them. Like, let's
was-
not act like you're not trying to profit off of this.
I think they handled it good because here's where like people got upset, and I disagree with this. But the kid fell in, and the gorilla like recognized that it was a kid. It appeared to that it was like a kid in distress, and was not like was kind of caring to it.
Mm-hmm.
But
Until it doesn't.
exactly, but like don't
Yep.
risk it. Shoot the gorilla, get the kid.
Yep,
I
you bet.
agree. But
Yep.
like people got upset because they were like, "Well, he was."
Yeah, sorry. I get it. It does suck. That would suck to pull the
Yes.
trigger. Like, if a gorilla is like almost looks like it's going to take care of the kid,
Right.
that would suck. I'm not
You
going
still
to.
do it.
I'm not going to enjoy shooting this gorilla. Now, if the gorilla's like running at it, like I'm about to pounce on you, hopefully I have a high capacity magazine. I'm going to put extra bullets in it after I know
Right.
it's dead. Like, bro, if you're going to act like you're aggressive towards a child, I have zero remorse. If you're being kind to the child, dang, that sucks that I got to
Yes.
put you down.
But
I
like
do
at the-
understand that it
At the
sucks.
flip of a switch, though, that.
But
thing
at the
could
flip
just-
of a switch, the kid is gone.
Right.
And so you're literally having to weigh, is this gorilla's life worth risking the life of a kid? And it's just not on any level. And anybody that says it is, we have this core, fundamental, foundational value that is different. And we're probably not going to get along on a few issues. If that's where your stance is on Harambe. And that's, I don't know, especially that. I don't know how I feel. I know how I feel. I feel the same if it's an adult. But
If it's an
if it's
adult-
like a 23-year-old who is like maybe trying to like
Yeah, I know.
throw
what you mean.
something, I still think you shoot the gorilla.
But I know what you mean. It's
But
almost
it's like, okay, now your ass needs to go to jail
Right.
or something. Like you got to pay for it. You're fined. Like this is like maybe not jail, but like this gorilla was worth this much. You got to pay that, or you are going to jail.
there's got to be consequences if
If it's a 3-year-old in
knowingly do
there,
that.
if it's a 3-year-old in there, we're going to shoot the gorilla, and then we're going to apologize to you for creating a situation where your 3-year-old could get in there, whether you weren't paying attention or not. That's just, I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. I've been wrong before. It was back in the early 90s. You knew that was going to fire me up.
Yeah, there's a few in that.
Just because, like,
that just get that I put in,
Bro, the animals versus humans debate is one that I just don't see myself ever budging on that personally. Bro, animals, however much you love your dog, it's like within 24 hours of you dying, they will eat you. That is crazy to me. That encompasses the conversation. Even though they say the guy on Theo Vaughn said the Labradors take the longest. Small dogs,
It's like labs
you're
and golden
gone.
retrievers.
They're
I
gonna
think,
They're gonna
were
start with
the-
your face.
Yeah.
They're gonna eat your face, and then a lab or a golden retriever, it'll wait a long time, and then when it's really hungry in that house after you die, it's gonna eat you. I don't know, Ty. If you die, I'm gonna die before I eat you.
Do you think so?
I think so.
Did you watch that movie about that soccer team that crashed a plane? Do you know what I'm talking about? It's a famous story. It's a real thing. They crashed a plane high in the mountains. It's cold, and they only had X amount of resource, and they had to cannibalize a few of them. There was
Really?
like 8 survivors. Yeah, but they would just wait like, so and so died of natural causes yesterday. It's cold. He's preserved. They like would fillet them and eat them and now they just reintegrated into society after all that because they eventually got rescued. I think it was like 8 of them that made it out, but there was 13 that were in the crash. They ate 5 people, but they were also there for like 2 months.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna eat you.
I appreciate that. I'm just saying
The 2-month part though, that's
that's a long time.
like a cat's not gonna wait.
Right? Yeah.
Like he says, like hours with a cat.
I don't think I'd eat I wouldn't eat you either. I'm just saying there's
I don't.
documented cases of people,
That's wild that it took them 2 months.
but also they were in the cold, so like the bodies were not decaying at all. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm not worried about the
The logistics of it. I'm just saying.
like it's wild that it took that much time for
It might have been even longer than that, but I know it was several months.
wild pigs found with blue dyed meat in California. Why officials are issuing a warning. Wild pigs found with blue dyed meat. What does that mean?
I don't know if I read into that one either. I don't know what's causing it.
Wildlife officials said multiple pigs in Central California were exposed to pesticide bait that caused their tissue to turn blue earlier this year. In March, a wildlife trapper reported blue muscle or fat discovered in wild pigs in the Montreal County area, according to the California Department. I don't buy that. I don't buy that.
What, that the meat's blue?
I don't buy that it's because they've got into pesticides.
You think it's because they're Democrats or?
Yeah, they're blue Democrats. Exactly what it is. Like, I don't know. I'm not denying that it's blue. Like, you can just see some crazy things when you cut open a carcass.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't know. Like I can visualize like little pieces of like in the fat, and I just don't. I bet if I'm not going to read this whole thing because it's just going to frustrate me. But I bet it's not proven that it's from pesticides. I don't know. I'm not saying that it's good to just eat pesticides. Like I'm not, but I do think there's just people that run with headlines.
Just while we're on the topic of it, have you?
For instance, this article, like on the side, it's got an ad for claim your space in AI search SEO toolkit. And then under that, summer of Purina at Tractor Supply, which that's all bogus. They need to be feeding total feeds, number one. But like, no, you guys have a different motivation. And that is you're trying to sell ad space. And so you guys are just, this is a headline that you want somebody to click. Their intentions are all over the place. We're talking about middle of California. I'm just not buying it, that there's just something. I mean, like, that's a catchy headline that's going to make a lot of people read this article so you can sell a bunch of ads. So, like, I'm not going to trust you as a news source. Does that make sense? Am I way off?
No, I agree with you.
I mean, maybe I look like the a-hole after maybe it is proven, but I just don't think it is.
This is kind of in the same vein, but like, have you seen the new stuff that's came out about just eating? It's really just eating any freshwater fish is kind of coming out that it's pretty bad for you. Just because like forever chemicals and stuff are staying in the water, especially if it's from a lake, and a lake that doesn't like cycle through water, like pretty quick. They're saying freshwater fish is really bad pretty much everywhere.
Do I believe that?
Yeah, I guess. Is that something you could get on? I could kind of see that,
but see, I guess what I'm saying is like, I'm not really trying to put my foot down that yes or no, this is true or not true. I became a little more sounding like a conspiracy theorist when I read that only half of the people that die of a heart attack had high cholesterol. So like, wait a second, half of the people that died of the other half didn't have high cholesterol. And just the way that people talk about beef, I'm in the industry and I thought I needed to eat less beef. Like, I was convinced that high cholesterol was caused by the beef that my dad had been eating and not like sugar, because he loved milkshakes at night, And I'm not saying that killed him either, but there's literally people that think that milkshake, the ice cream and syrup and Dr. Pepper are better for him than a steak. And that, once I realized just how backwards that was, it really makes me wonder like what people are calling safe and unsafe. Kind of like the cruise ship bullshit.
right.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
they're throwing rocks at cow farts and tractors that are trying to farm so that you can have cotton to put a shirt together, so that you can have peanuts for your trail mix, so that you can have lettuce, so that you can have, anything that comes from a farm. Y'all are mad at the diesel that they're having to use, but they'll get on a cruise ship, which is 10x all that, like you said.
The thing
They're not addressing that. They're twisting this news story to create a headline so that they can sell ads.
The thing about the fresh fish that somewhat makes sense to me is every body of water that passes. You ever been in a big city and just looked at the river that runs through? Because every big city is built on a river, but they are all like, it is disgusting now, right? And I get there's like a natural filtration that happens, but like
some I don't know. Like, the Brazos looks pretty much the same anywhere.
Man, what's the one like when we're in San Antonio that has there's a river walk is what they even call it.
Yeah,
It's gross. Like,
for sure.
Every big city just goms up a body of water, and that body of water is just going to slide like, snake over to the next. And I get eventually, however many miles away, there is a level of like filtration, but like, there's no way it gets everything out.
Fear, man. That's what people, that's exactly what, like, I kind of had to stop listening to like Robert Kiyosaki online because it was just fear mongering with like, he's got like good real estate advice, but he would also just be like, this crash is coming here and there. This is like blah, blah, blah. And it's just like, dang, dude, like you're trying to get this real catchy, title and thumbnail. because you want views. And like I do a similar thing, but I'm using comedy and something that's just interesting. We buck a 5-legged bull. Yeah, as a YouTuber, I knew that was going to be interesting, and it's why I bought the bull.
You're not stressing someone out.
But I'm not trying to I'm not trying to prey on someone's
Correct.
fear of a pesticide. But that's what literally to get you to click and read and listen, and maybe they bring it back home and at the end of the article. But who reads the end of the article? So their headline is "Freshwater fish now unsafe." Here's why. Here's 5 reasons why. And maybe they end it with, "No, this is just 3% of the supply." But people don't read the whole thing. And maybe they don't end it, and the whole thing is just fear-mongering. So, yeah, I mean, is a bass that comes out of that little stream and going through the Riverwalk in San Antonio, is it going to eat different than something out of the tank at Waccamaw that is only water? I mean, rainwater and whatever. Yeah, I can get down with that. But all freshwater fish because of pesticide or blah, blah, blah. Like, I can't get down with that. Personally. Like I'm just not gonna believe that all freshwater fish is now
I don't
bad.
eat a lot of fish anyway, but yeah, I mean it's not gonna deter me.
Well, that's not the point.
But yeah, I'm just saying it doesn't change my life very much if my opinion's one way or the other, just because I don't really. But yeah, I see what you mean. I would not eat a fish that was caught off the Riverwalk in San Antonio, but I would fish out of your tank and eat one of those. I just think it's like that just feels like common sense to me.
That seems like common sense.
Yeah.
Agreed. Yeah. Those cruise ships, if 10 of them are in a little bay and they're loading up and there's a factory right next to it, is a freaking tuna that just happens to be in that area that's caught, is it going to eat different than something 10 miles off the coast? That seems like common sense.
Right.
But that doesn't mean all tuna is bad. You know, I don't know. That's why these headlines are sometimes tricky with the way that, like, because people might formulate that, dude, somebody read whatever that headline is, and they're not going to eat freshwater fish for like
Ever.
5 more years.
Yeah.
Or ever. Yeah. In 2025, it's 2025, the year we decided we need a widespread slur for robots.
Have you seen this? They're calling robots clankers.
Clankers?
And they're using it like a slur.
Are people upset about it?
No, people like it's just kind of like the young community right now. But like, you know, there's just videos on TikToks of, have you seen those bots that will just like deliver food and stuff? You know, they have those going.
Yeah.
Well, there's just videos of kids like, "Get out of here, clanker!" Like video them as they're just wheeling by. It's funny right now. I'm sure it'll get ridiculous eventually, and someone might get upset. But yeah, calling the bots clankers right now is pretty funny.
People do find reasons to get upset.
I'm enjoying that one though. That is funny.
All right, the last one's a video.
The bears saw Bowie, got a little excited, and honestly, I think just wanted to play a little bit. Bears are everywhere at Brooks Falls, and like this is their territory. They're also super used to seeing humans, so I think bringing a troll into an environment like that does cause a level of just extra
Oh, they took
awareness to
the
make
mascot?
Sure everyone is going to be safe,
Yeah, and a
including
bear
lovely
bluff
troll
charged them.
Bowie.
I love a good bear charge.
A good bear charge.
But there was almost a mascot torn alive in 4K by a big old bear. But
Dang, that looked like a grizzly bear.
yeah, it was. I don't know. She was really calm about. She's like, yeah, these bears, they're used to people, but I don't know, man. If one's loping at me like that,
Bro, if they're loping at me.
even the mascot stayed calm. I would have been freaking out.
That's one of those situations like the adult thing, you know. But I'm
Yeah, I think people like that just don't realize how much danger they're in either sometimes.
correct.
It's just the
Correct.
naivety that comes with.
You just can't give that much credit to an animal.
No.
Especially like something that's just not domesticated. I think people give too much credit to dogs. Bro, there's people with dogs that like,
I think that about like pit bulls and stuff.
bro, pit bulls.
I think, but like a lab or a golden is so far removed that I think 999 out of 100 of them would not have an episode. Like, they're just so docile.
Yeah.
But there are breeds like a you know, a Rottweiler or a Doberman or a Pit Bull. It's like they're not that far removed from something that's fighting to stay alive, you know?
Yeah. Or just wanting to spill blood.
Yeah.
Wanting to taste blood.
Right.
Like a Pit Bull. Yeah. Like you said, a Rottweiler, like those kind of animals. Like
even those is it a Mastiff that they use to protect livestock sometimes? Like a Bull Mastiff?
Oh, those big white dogs?
Yeah, they say that they're like super cuddly and like good with people, but I'm like, that thing is trained
to kill something.
Or bred to defend livestock from
something.
predators, you know? It's like, I wouldn't be crawling all over that even, you know?
No, I agree. Like, it's just not worth the risk.
Yeah.
You know, and like people that defend pit bulls are just like, well, it's not bad dogs, it's bad owners. And
sometimes I agree with that. But
I mean, I see the point they're making, but the stakes are too high.
Right.
The stakes are just too high. It's like owning a rattlesnake.
Yeah.
And it just shouldn't be allowed. Yeah, but if the owner, they take on the risk. Yeah, but they're going to die. You know, I don't know. Like, let's go on to our next segment called What's Rockin' with Rocker Steiner. Brought to you by American Hat. If you don't wear an American, then you ain't no cowboy.
You could call it Dale on Wheels after his new show drops. You know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
Just going to call him.
Oh, you didn't know I was calling him?
No.
What's Rockin' with Rocker Steiner? He might still be asleep. It's 12:25 in the afternoon.
Probably eating breakfast.
Probably eating breakfast.
Hey, this is Rocker. Sorry I missed your call. Leave your name. I'll call you back. Yeah.
At the tone, please record your message. When you have finished recording, you may hang up or press 1 for more options.
Yeah, that's right. We're going to go down to the Bearback Riding. We got your man, Rocker Steiner. And, hey, we hate to be talking about him on the PRCA website and Instagram and Cowboy Channel so much, but we cannot go without talking about the winners. And right now, that's Rocker. Hey, what's rocking with Rocker Steiner? This is a segment on the Rodeo Time podcast. I don't know if you realize this, Rock, but we've talked about you on the last 3 solo episodes. I've got a whole segment dedicated to you. So you sent me to voicemail on a live podcast. I guess you're just probably filming your show, Dale on Wheels. I'm not even there right now, and you're filming the show without me, Dale on Wheels. Okay. I love you. Goodbye. I didn't say I love you, did I?
You did.
I did. Okay. All right. Next up, financial advice with Dale Brisby, brought to you by Mountain Ops. Use code Dale for 20% off on mountainops.com. Recent cattle prices. That was one of the podcasts that just released. It's going bananas. Let me see where it is in the standings of recent podcasts. So, compared to its previous 5 podcasts, no, 6, it's number 1. At the 1 hour and 19 mark, this one has 30,000 views. The next up and running was at 10,800 views. So it's doing 3x what normal podcasts do. This podcast is Why Beef Prices Are So High, and it's with my sister, Dancy. She's super smart. She's super intelligent, and you just go check it out. It's almost a 2-hour conversation that I have on why those beef prices have risen, what it's like for the consumer, what it's like for the producer, and then we talk about family stuff at the end. So go check out that podcast with my sister if you haven't already heard it. We talk about conspiracy theories. We address those. But since we're in the segment financial advice, I do need to tell you that a great investment is rodeotime.com. It's the best apparel line on the face of this earth because it's got my face on it. A lot of it does. It's a great investment. Just ask Daniel Herrera. You know who that is?
The name sounds familiar.
Yeah, because he was just at our buck out. That's a top fan.
Oh, yeah.
He's bought so much Rodeo Time apparel that I invited him out to the beaches.
What's the number?
His phone number?
No. What do customers got to hit to get an invite
It's enough that it's on Dale's radar. So like I don't fill orders, but like he ordered enough that like, hey, this guy orders a lot. And then I saw him at a couple of appearances, and he lives close. Like he could have come. He's been to the warehouse before, so he's not a stalker. Like because the first time I met him was like 2.5 years ago, and he knows where the warehouse is. So like, super normal dude, just really likes the videos.
Right on.
And he's got to wear something. Might as well be rodeo time apparel. He gets it.
Yeah, be more like him.
And so the other day I was like, hey, bro, we're bucking. Just come over to the house. And he was like, heck yeah. He's like, I'll bring some waters because it's hot. So he filled up a Yeti full of waters, and we just hung out for 2 hours. Super cool. I guess I'm not advertising that you buy enough Delaware, you get to go to my house, but I'm just saying that worked out for him.
Give it a try. Give it a try.
See if we can answer one more Q&A for the Dale Brisby therapy session. And that's how we'll wrap this up right before I give you my life advice. I sit on my butt when I'm riding a bull. Man, you're asking that question. It sounds like you know the answer. Get up off your butt. Get up off your pockets and drive. That's another counterintuitive thing for bull riding. Let's do one more Q&A. Having other people steal your flanks after the rider gets bucked off the bull. That is an unusual de-rig and shoot thieves.
We just encountered some of those, right? You just
Yeah, somebody stole my halter that Carson was using. Has he gotten me another one yet?
You know he hasn't.
Bro, I got to talk to him. Yeah. Well, I say hire, like, the de-rig shoot is a spot that you need somebody savvy and just have them stay back there. And then where they put your equipment immediately when it's de-rigged, unless it's your de-rig and shoot help that's stealing it. Yeah. I'd say get somebody you trust on the de-rig. Okay? That's a thankless job. It needs to be somebody with a servant heart. Or some proud a-hole that needs to be humbled. Put them on the de-rig and shoot. Problem solved. All right. My problem is I need to go have lunch. So life advice brought to you by Can-Am is do it, then talk about it. Something we mentioned. I'll plug that from the inside of the podcast. And I'd like to thank Ty for coming on. C-section, baby.
What does that have to do?
It's not that important until we go to leave the house.
How did you know that?
And then sometimes you, because every time we leave the house, you always go out the window.
Okay, yeah.
So
this is the way I like to leave places.
Yep. And so that's how you know that about him. But anyhow, love you guys. Thanks for listening. Do it, then talk about it. I'm Dale Brisby. I'm on to the next one. Pow pow.
Dale Brisby.
Yeah, that's right. We're gonna go down to Rocker Steiner. Are you in the bus right now?
No, I'm in my boat.
Oh, well, that's still
I just got done wakeboarding.
That's still pretty cool. You probably
I
got.
have to get good at this again so I can show Cowboys throwing up.
Yeah, he's gotten pretty good. He goes to the lake a lot, but he's also retired.
He is retired, but he's not bald anymore, so I can't make fun of him for anymore.
Yeah, but don't worry. I mean, he's like old, retired, and I mean, I'm pretty sure I could beat him up, and you can beat him at wakeboarding.
Maybe.
How's your new show going?
It's going good. I had to come home for like a week and a half. I got a stinger in my neck, so I came home, got that figured out. Now I'm going back tomorrow.
I don't even know if you know, but we do have a segment in each of our podcasts, the solo ones, where we cover, it's called What's Rockin' with Rocker Steiner. We pretty much do an update on anything rocker.
Uh-huh.
Were you aware?
No, I was not aware until your voicemail.
Yeah. I love the point you made with the Karens that were complaining that
Yeah.
the PRCA talked about you. And what'd you tell them?
Well, the thing is, there was like 2 weeks where it was just constantly them posting me, and everybody was getting pissed off about it, but I just had to remind everybody that they post the winners of each rodeo. Ice cold response. You gotta give it to them hard.
Yeah, I get the same thing, my man. I get the same thing. But we're just good luck. It's a good thing we're in different events, like you're
That's
on,
right.
Yeah. So,
But if I owned a bull rope, if my grandmother would let me ride bulls, I'd kick your ass up and down them bucking chutes.
well, I was almost, you took the words out of my mouth. If I owned a bareback rigging. So,
Yeah. I got one.
we should get, no, I don't like to borrow equipment. We should get, a dueling shampoo sponsor.
A dueling? How about this? How about they just sponsor me, pay me, and I'll give you some shampoo?
I don't know if I like that deal, but
I think that's the more realistic thing.
yeah, maybe not. Well, what kind of life advice do you have for our listeners as we wrap this up? I'm not trying to kick you off the phone. I'm at the
You're asking life
podcast.
advice from me?
Yes, I am.
Hey, I'm still trying to figure that out every day. I don't know.
Maybe that's the advice. That is so deep, Rocker.
Go to the lake. Go wakeboard.
Go to the lake and go wakeboarding.
Yeah, go to the lake. Don't listen to anybody other than your parents and your friends.
Yeah. All right, buddy. Well, go get them. I appreciate you taking my call. Have fun at the lake.
Thank you, man. I'll see you soon.
All right, buddy. Later.